Okay. Should have done it earlier. Um, so you were just mentioning about the passing of water hand to hand, and that made me think of my friend Charlotte, who's she lives in Denmark. She's Danish, and she does earth sculpture work, like large scale, including making playgrounds, interactive playgrounds from earth and embedded in earth for children. But at the moment, her focus is she makes little clay pots, kind of small as the palm of my hand, and about
Mhm.
that deep. And they each have different kinds of watercolor in the glaze, so varying
Wow.
from teal to blue and so on. And what she does is she does public exhibits where she makes concentric circles, and
Mhm.
she's done it in beautiful, as you can imagine, in Europe, beautiful old railway stations, no, busy ones, and um, and also on public fountains. You know how there are certain fountains in urban areas where it's flat to the ground, but there are little water spouts.
Mhm.
So she does them there, and she has 2023, I think, for the number of years that she's made, and each year, of course, she'll make more. And I'm going to come and sing at some of those. But she's in Australia for the month of July by invitation. But the purpose of it is to raise awareness of the importance of protecting groundwater and what it does and why it matters to not overuse it and all these sorts of things. And of course, everything that goes along with that, all these different threads that we have for how we can talk about the environment, the intelligence of the environment, the vulnerabilities of the environment, the beautiful design, self-designing nature of things. So I'm just suddenly thinking, we're in June, not July. I'm wondering if there's a way we could include her. She's got such a beautiful sensibility. She's very gentle, and she's a mother, so she's lived through things. I haven't. I did not give birth to children, physical ones, um, but I think there is something about women who have, and I gather from what you shared that you have, that when you come to talk about the things related to environment and the love of deep ecology and the diversity, that you're able to come from a particular place with that's very grounded and yet very protective. Like there's a pragmatic element to being a mother of physical children, right? It's not all pretty by any stretch. And it tests you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
tests you. And if you're exhausted, it doesn't matter. You still have to be a mother.
Mhm.
And I just feel like there's something in that that comes forward in my mind. I can give you some links. Um, I could look for them right now, or I can send them after.
Yeah. Before you show this, for me, my direction is maybe a little bit different one. Of course, these elements come in too, of course. What I noticed, how many mistakes I made with my children. Yeah. If I could go back now and would have the knowledge I'm having now, yeah, I would have done things totally different. So many parents say this, yeah.
Yeah.
And still now the one son is now 17, the other 19. And as long as they hear, I try my best with the knowledge I'm having now, yeah, to bring it in. And it has so much to do. And I'm a trained coach. I learned in Osnabrück with Professor Julius Kuhl. And this is about learning about our psychology, yeah, our minds, how they work and how they go along with our emotions. And when I compared with the ancient knowledge, Indian knowledge, and other knowledge, or again today, and I'm getting goosebumps. And the
Yeah, I can relate.
And I again, from my from the Indian people where I worked as a designer. So for one exhibition, it was a millennium exhibition. I brought in, because we heard in one of the gardens in New Delhi, we heard a concert by Hari Prasad Shaharadia, one of the best known Bansuri players. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he really played there in the opening of our exhibition, where I designed silverware, big silverware for the rich in India. And I researched again today, and her teacher, she was married for a certain time to Harish, what's his name? It's this great sitar player, Ravi Shankar.
Okay.
But she is a much better sitar player. She never ever played in public. There's no recording. But she brought the knowledge to the greatest musician, like Hari Prasad, even though he's a flautist. And she had a son with Ravi Shankar. And everything I learned today from her, again, going through, she's so much with all the deities, yeah? It's amazing. It's so amazing, yeah? And I don't know why I have to dig in these ancient knowledge. And when she mentioned one deity, I realized this again has to do with water, yeah?
Yes.
This has to do with water and this psychology, yeah, we're having to overcoming and she is really perfect, yeah. She's doing her household by herself. She's doing her cooking by herself. And one journalist who was allowed to go through the rooms without talking to her, yeah, realized the density of the room where she gives her teachings, yeah. And there seems to be coming in when she's playing, yeah, a smell is coming into the space. And this is from one of these deities when this is really coming in, yeah. It's amazing.
Do you recall the smell, what it is?
It is a flowery smell.
Yes, I knew that.
In the space.
Yeah.
And
curious which plant it was.
And so it's amazing that something, and I don't, it's, and I more and more I can see what's happening on Tuesday, yeah. So tomorrow I will buy a canvas, but I cut it in a circle, yeah. I thought first of paper, but then I realized on the ground it's not the right material. So I will buy canvas and prepare the canvas. And I thought of the size too. And then I thought, okay, it has to be very human. So it has the diameter of my height, yeah, this circle,
Yes.
where I will then draw on, where things happening. And it has, again, to do, and these are, and again, what I learned about the psychology, the similar things, the 4 quadrants, in similar ways, were coming in through reading the ancient, the more ancient stuff about these goddesses, yeah. And this too is very much about the different possibilities, the knowledge and the creative. They are very different, yeah. But we need them all.
I just something's coming forward that I just want to share,
Mm,
which is that there's a lot of preconceptions, especially in California and especially in the general New Age millennial movement, that goddesses are really simply dress up and they're not really this kind of gnarly, earthy, no bullshit zone of power that happens to be of the feminine, feminine expression of power in these various focuses. And I just wanted to name that, because sometimes I see the word goddess and I slightly go like this, thinking, oh no, it's going to be more pretty dancing or something very ethereal and esoteric. And I just wanted to acknowledge the depth and breadth and rawness that I would love to have more people get a sense of with the goddess, whichever.
So it's interesting with the goddesses. Sometimes when I'm working, I worked for people, helping them to find jobs. And one morning going to this place, I got in contact with Kali, one of the
Oh
power.
yeah.
Yeah? And it was interesting. This day, one fella was there, which I had to spend 1 hour with. And this fella was, he knew how to get money from the German system. Yeah. So he really had to, I had to bring in the power and making clear, how things really work. And this is something interesting, that there is certain kind of, it is, I don't know, is it just, is it really a goddess? Or is it a certain kind of emotional state? Yeah, emotional and
Energy, energy state.
energy. Yeah. And it can be then visioned as a certain kind of goddess, but
Sure,
it is
sure.
energy state. Yeah.
It is energy states. And I
And then,
think because we're human, we need to personify them slightly in order to have relationship and do ritual.
yeah. And for me, these kind of things are not at all, it's not, I never would do just nice dancing. Yeah. So this is what
I
we do.
know. I just had to call that out, that energy. I want to show you something.
Yeah.
So this is my wall, and I'm
Mhm.
going to talk about this.
Yeah. Connect. Yeah.
I don't know if it's back to front. It looks back to front in my
Yeah. I can see it. Clear conviction, greater
creates change.
Mhm. Yeah.
Clear conviction creates change. Hang on. Clear conviction creates change. And then I went to this.
Yeah. The
Four
four.
C's. Clear conviction creates change. And then I went to this. 4C. So when we are clear,
Mm-hmm.
we create change
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a conviction around clarity that it's not, you can't replace it.
Yes. I would like to write
Intention
it.
and conviction are slightly different.
Mm-hmm. I have to write it down again. Can you go again that I can write it down? And
Let me just, I'll take a picture of it and send it to you.
and this year I worked with an NGO, I told you, in Switzerland, yeah. And
Yeah.
there I realized how I help really helping to become very clear through getting clear visions. And again today, I heard it again and again about um, the second husband of Amriputa Devi, which was this amazing sitar player. Yeah.
Yes.
And her husband is a psychologist, and he was working in USA and Canada, and then came back to India and then trained people there how we work as a human being. And I listened to him too. And it's the same thing, how you how you get the clarity. Yeah, in these steps, select short time goals. Then the affirmations you need to have to really get positive, which you address yourself, that you get your self-belief, yeah, that really it can work. Nobody can come in between you and what you want to do. Then that's really interesting, what I had to learn so much, the relaxation, yeah. When we are still in a fight and flee or want to escape modus, we can't be creative or can't be really true and in our being. So a relaxed state is incredible.
And just clarity is key. Clarity is key.
Yeah.
And the one thing that is a wonderful thing to remember, because this is, if you get this, all the other things automatically kick in, and that is that you're not a victim.
Yeah. Right.
And as soon as I remember, like if I feel like I'm at the effect of, and that I just have to wait for something to get better, then yeah, that's not helpful. But when I remember that I'm not a victim and that I'm a participant and a creator, then that's the clarity. And then it's like, okay, well, what do I need to have happen? What do I want here?
Yeah.
And that's the responsibility part.
Yeah. Yeah. And we take responsibility for our own, how we create our life. Yeah.
Well, and for what we want and need. So if I take responsibility for the environment, I get very clear about what needs to happen. And then I find other people with the same drive.
Yeah.
Because that's the attractor.
Yeah.
Right there. But anyway, we're going slightly sideways. I want to make sure we stay within the bounds of what we're trying to achieve.
Right. And there is this kind of so that there at the end, what I see is that you sense, first of all, the nature. Yeah, this is an important thing. We are part of nature. You sense the water, and the water is beauty of the water is, become like water, my friend, really, to that it can take so many different kind of shapes. Yeah, it is connected to the emotions as well. Yeah, the water. And if we're too emotional, we can't have clarity either. So,
right, that's true.
Yeah, it stands for so many beautiful things. Yeah.
Yes.
And that this kind of this holding as well. It's a kind of you need a vessel in a way to keep the water.
Yes.
And I don't know, there's something in a way, and creativity and water seem to come very close together. And in a way,
the water,
are the vessels. We become the vessels. Yeah.
I think, yes. I think water is indicative of the liminal state.
It is
liminal. Hang on. Let me just translate that. Grenzwertig. Grenzwertig.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, water is very grenzwertig. Wasser ist grenzwertig.
Yeah, and it can take so many different forms. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So it's versatile.
Yeah.
What's the other word? It's responsive. It's reactive, responsive.
Yeah. So what I notice now, when I sat with these young women, I notice there is why I'm the mentor now of this Taiwanese young dancer, is that she is I help her to much faster overcome her fears. Yeah.
Yes.
Where I needed many more decades. Yeah. That she really have the power just to do what wants to be expressed through her. Yeah.
I need to ask a question because my meeting's about to start. I have a meeting at 1 o'clock. How late do you stay up? I'm wondering if I could call you afterwards, or if I could email you and you can see if you're still awake.
Yeah, that's good. So I still do some work. Yeah.
Okay.
And so in a way, it will be as well, it's a ritual for the next, yeah, a ritual, and to feel the connection, yeah,
Yes.
and as well that we who are already connected can pass it, yeah.
Okay, I'm not hearing anymore because my mind is concerned about time.
Yeah.
So
No.
I didn't really follow that. I just want to be honest.
Yeah.
It is recorded.
Good.
And
That's good.
I'll reach out by email as soon as the meeting's finished and you can
Yeah,
see if you're
perfect.
still available.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Petra.
Thank
Bye
you
for
for
now.
your time.
Bye for now.